Hi, Geminis. This is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamolen, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a timeless love reading. Today, I am going to ask Spirit for you what you don't see coming. What is coming in love? What is next in love? A surprise? Anything Spirit wants to share with me. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. I will be using some initials and some charms as well. So we'll get to those, but let's call in our spirit guides. This is a fully channeled message for those of you that have never watched me. Spirit, please share with me any guided messages. What is it that you want me to hear at this time? What is it that you need me to know? I am listening for you now. I have a letter, a written communication. Someone reaches out. Okay, so there's this feeling of maybe it's somebody we weren't expecting, and maybe I haven't heard from this person for a while or a past. Let's keep going, but very much an unexpected call. Could be, I just wasn't expecting to hear from this person. Like, whoa, this just blew me away. I have a heart. Love, emotions, relationship, expressing feelings, Spirit saying they're calling to say something. I never stopped thinking about you. I never got over you. I'm still thinking of you. I don't know, something's going on here. I have a son. The number 31, success, happiness, creativity. I'm going to say it's coming into me as souls unite. Okay. So it could be a soulmate connection that comes back around. It could be just somebody that was in your past that you were soulmates, but maybe it was the bad timing in the past, something along those lines. Okay, so this feeling of, I definitely feel like, whoa, like, holy shit. Like, I definitely am not expecting to hear from this person. Can I have a couple more cards, please, Spirit? I have a coffin. Maybe it was an ending. Maybe we thought we closed the door. And I have a ship. Boy, I'm going to say it's a soul journey. I mean, it's either a twin flame journey, soulmate journey that is coming back around again. And for those of you that there's nobody in your past you want calling you, it's probably not going to be your reading. If it's somebody that you weren't in a relationship with, but you always had a thing for them, they had a thing for you, but it just never really worked out. Like, somebody maybe you worked with that you had a crush on, that it never really went anywhere. And then all of a sudden they're thinking of you and they're available, you're available. You know, it could be one of those, they come back around because the timing is right. They come back around because you're single now, and they happen to come across your social media and they realize that, you know, your status is that you're single again. So it could be something along those lines, but it's definitely a holy wow moment. Like, I can't even believe you just called. I haven't heard your voice in years. So something is going on with that. I have a 3 of Wands. I have a 7 of Wands. They're saying a lot of catching up to do. So this is somebody that wants to catch up, that they want to know what's going on in your life. So we must still be on good terms with this person. It's not a, I don't want to hear from you. We must be happy to hear from them. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk on the phone. We're going to reconnect somehow. I have a Queen of Pentacles. I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything about your life. What's going on? And I have a Knight of Swords. So lots of questions, lots of curiosity. Also this feeling of, I guess, wonder is the word I want to use. Like, I wonder if things had been different. I wonder if I had acted years ago and done something different if we would have been together. I wonder, but you can't do those things. You can't regret the past. You have to just know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But there's always this kind of, you were always in the back of my head. I ever wondered what happened to you, or who you ended up with, or if you're happy, or, who's the lucky one that got you. But it is a feeling of, I thought about you over the years. I definitely have thought about you. I have a Fool. This is one of those the timing is right. That the timing the first time was not right. It wasn't meant to be for some reason. And the timing is here in the now. So something is, this person is reaching out because they want to see if you're available. They want to see, they're saying pick up where we left off. So there could have been a friendship. There maybe, soul energy is, we could go years without talking to that person. And some of you may have friends like this where you haven't talked to them for years, but you pick right up where you left off, and you are just right back into that friendship, and it was very easy, and you just kind of fall right into it. It's that kind of feeling. Like, I want to pick up where we left off, and I want to spend some time catching up with you. I want to get to know you again, and I want to maybe see where it goes this time. They're saying time, places, changes everything. I have a 7 of Swords. That feels like somebody got cheated on. Not to laugh at it, but that's how it came in. It was like, maybe it's their story. Like, my spouse cheated on me and I left. I wasn't expecting to get a divorce, and here I am, single again. But it did come into me as kind of an unexpected ending that opens up this gateway and this doorway for this connection. But it's just part of somebody's story. And I have a Knight of Pentacles. So there's a sense of time. There is a sense of time here that I either don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to miss this opportunity to get to know you again. I don't want to, they're sharing with me almost a moving feeling. So for somebody who possibly has moved, like you were living away from home for years, like where you grew up, and maybe you had to relocate to go back home to take care of parents or something like that, or you just happened to relocate back home, and maybe we're reconnecting with some old friends. Because I do feel like it's a circle. I do feel like we have friends in common. We could have coworkers in common, because I feel like we're catching up on people. We're asking about people that we know in common. Whatever happened to that person? What's going on with them? So we definitely had some kind of relationship. Now, whether we were in a physical, emotional, romantic relationship, I don't necessarily think that. Do we think that we always had kind of a thing for each other? Probably. Okay. There could have been a crush. There could have been, I definitely was interested in you, but I didn't cross that line because I was in another relationship. But we had attraction for each other for sure. Wow. Blast from the past. Is that, I don't know, maybe it's not something that you expect, but you like this person. It's not somebody you don't want in your life. You're happy to hear from this person. I have reminiscing. Yeah, there's a lot of reminiscing. There's a friends in common. Maybe you went to high school together. Maybe you grew up together. Maybe you guys used to hang out, when your kids were young. I don't know, but it's a feeling of something like that. I have cute selfies, sending each other pictures, maybe updated pictures. Send me an updated picture of yourself. Maybe we're sending pictures back and forth, sending pictures of our homes, our animals, anything, just to kind of catch up. I have childhood activities. I'm going to say that you could have known this person since childhood. You could have grown up in the same area, the same neighborhood. That it's almost like a time warp. I feel like I'm going through a time warp. I mean, like decades, 20 years, 30 years. I have first kiss. Maybe this is the person, yeah, this was your first kiss. Maybe this was your first boyfriend or girlfriend. And maybe it's somebody you dated in high school or even younger. But maybe this is somebody that was, just has some kind of tie to you. I don't know. We're going to see where this goes, because I feel like this person went out of their way to find you. Maybe it's not that hard to find you. They just looked up. It just came into me as you could have a mutual friends, and that mutual friend popped up on, like their Facebook feed, and then they saw that you commented, and then they were like, oh my God. And then they kind of reached out. Like, that's how it feels. Like, it's something that unfolds along those lines. But just a random, I found you through social media. I looked you up. Spirit, where's this going? What is this past coming back, and why? Soul contracts do that, specifically twin flames. Twin flames lead very parallel lives, and they go through very similar things until they have learned the lessons before they have that union. So you could have grown up together. You could have gone to the same high school, but maybe at different times. You could have lived 2 blocks away from each other, but never knew each other. You could have, done very similar things. And then when you start to compare notes, you're like, this is crazy. We have so many things that are synchronistic that it's like surreal at times. I have a 5 of Cups. I have a 9 of Swords. I have an 8 of Swords. And a 6 of Wands. There was a feeling of, I felt like I would never have a chance. You're the one that got away. And then that 6 of Wands came in as when I realized that you were single again, or I realized that your status was that a friend told me that you were divorced now. It was like, what do I have to lose? If I call them and see what's going on in their lives, maybe we'll reconnect. Maybe there's a spark there still. So you're the one that got away is how it's coming into me. So they want to see, like, if they still, after all these years, have any kind of feelings for you. And sometimes it's those feelings don't ever go away. You pick up right where you left off. So that's something that I think is going to happen in this connection. We're going to catch up, and we're going to realize we still have feelings for each other. Beautiful. Queen of Cups. I have a Page of Swords. That feels like the reaching out, somebody getting the courage. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. I feel like we both have mutual feelings. I'm going to put it in the, I had a crush on you, I always had a crush on you in high school, or I always had a thing for you, back when. And, but you were with somebody else and I couldn't do anything about it. But it's nice to hear. It's kind of nice to hear. And then they tell you haven't changed and you don't look any older. You look better. How about that? That's nice. All right. Let's see what the charms are saying. Let's see if we get any more clues about who this is. If not, we'll just put it out into the universe and see if you get this kind of mysterious person phone call. But maybe this has already happened to some of you. If it has, let me know, because it's kind of a fun energy. Look at all these charms you have. Okay. We got lots of charms. Let me get my little tweezers. Let me see if there's any letters. What is this? That looks like an O. Okay. I have an O. I have a J, an L. I'm sorry, an L. I have an I. So these are little miniature letters. I have a J. I have a J. I have another L. Another L. Okay. And what's this guy? Another J, another J. JJ. JJ, nickname, JR. JJ. Maybe it's one of those nicknames, like it has two letters, you know, that they have like TJ and, you know, something like that. All right. I have, let me see what I'm feeling. Okay. Is that a, okay, so I have a music note. They're saying band. They're saying band. This person could have had a band. They could have been in a band when they were younger. Maybe they've always aspired to be in a band. Maybe they have like a garage band with their friends. But it just came into me as band. I have a big smiley face. I'm going to say that's what makes them happy. Music makes them happy. Either performing, playing music, like that's their happy place. They would rather be doing that than anything. So there's something going on with music for sure. Okay. I have grapes. I'm going to say that I want to meet you for a drink. Like, I feel like that's the easiest thing to do. I just feel like, let's go, you know, let's meet for a drink. Let's catch up. I'd love to see you. When are you available? So I do feel like that initial phone call, that initial reaching out to you does lead to actually meeting this person in person. And I feel like it's pretty exciting. I feel like I'm really looking forward to it. It's a big hug. When I see them, it's a, you look great. Oh my God, you look the same energy. So I think I'm really looking forward to seeing this person. I have a key to my heart. I feel like this person teases you. Like you're the one that got away. I always had a thing for you. You always had, you know, the key to my heart. And there's a part of me that feels like it could have been your first, you know, the first person that you ever kissed, or your first person you kind of dated, you know, when you were very young. But, you know, it's you guys outgrew each other. You went different directions, something like that. I have a whale's tail. I have a lot of sea things. I'm going to put all these sea things together. I have a starfish. I have a seahorse. I have another seahorse. So I'm going to put all these together. I'm going to say that maybe one of you lives by the sea. One of you says, yeah, I moved to, you know, the shore of a state, and I live near the shore, or I'm closer to the shore than I used to be, something like that. So it feels like there's an ocean. There's an ocean near us. I have a candy cane. That just feels sweet to me. What is this? This is coming into me, and oh my God, I haven't thought about this in a long time. Let me see if I can pick it up. This is dating me. All right, I'll show it to you in a minute because I can't pick it up. It came into me as a mood ring. So that feels like something from, you know, I mean, I grew up in the 70s, and it feels like it's, you know, like what's, you know, like those were the things in our lives, you know, mood rings and Rubik's cubes and slinkies and, you know, things like that. But I just, for some reason, the mood ring came into me, and maybe that's something that I'm just, maybe it's reminding me of a time or a year of my past. Okay. I have flowers. I'm going to put all these flowers together. I have flowers. I have a hummingbird, flowers, butterflies. I'm going to put all of these together with springtime. I have butterflies, the flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. I have a hummingbird feeder out. So it could be just showing me that when is this person coming into my life, and what is the energy around this connection? And it could be just springtime. You know, spring is blooming and love is blooming, and just something along those lines. I do have a diamond and I have a crown. It came into me as the word precious, more of a feeling of treating you like royalty, treating you, you know, like you're irreplaceable, you're a diamond, you're top notch. So it did come into me along those lines. And I do have a flamingo. So I'm going to put the flamingo up here with the sea. Birds. It could be I have a home in Florida. I have a beach house in Florida, and I still come back and I visit my family, and maybe they're home visiting their family and they bump into you, or somebody mentions your name and that's when they reached out. But maybe they have a home, you know, down here in Florida with, on the water, and maybe they live in somewhere nice and warm like me. All right. And then I have a Christian cross. So they could have been raised Christian. That could be their family's beliefs. And I do have a strawberry. I'm going to throw it out there that they could possibly have, or you could have, strawberry blonde hair. That they could be a redhead. You could be a redhead. Maybe somebody in their family, siblings, something like that. Run in the family, a bunch of redheads. But I'm going to go with strawberry blonde. I feel like that's something that maybe is connected to this reading. So if you are a ginger, maybe this reading is for you. All right. So this is my mood ring, this thing. It's like foggy, and they used to be different colors, and they were kind of that shape. They were kind of this like oval, you know, they weren't very attractive, to tell you the truth, but we thought they were cool at the time. Everybody had a mood ring. Let me know if you had a mood ring in the comments. I want to know how many of you had a mood ring. Some of you might have mood rings now. You saved it. All right, let's see what their final messages are. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that you need me to know? What is it that you want me to hear? Beautiful. You're the one that got away. I always had a crush on you. A little bit of a blast from the past. I really feel like it's going to be a holy moly moment when you hear this person's voice. I hope you'll wait for me. Okay. Maybe they always thought we'll be together someday. Someday, somehow we would end up together. Sometimes you feel that way about certain people. You're like, I always thought I was going to end up with that person. You know, I have a maybe. Let's see where this goes. Let's see what the feelings are. I do feel like I'm anticipating seeing this person, and then I feel like this big hug, and it's like just a really fun friendship reunion. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that there's still some attraction there, and the window of opportunity is available to both of us to be in a relationship. I'm open. I'm open to compromise. I'm open to meeting you halfway. Maybe somebody has to move. Maybe somebody would have to make different plans just to be together. Those things you work on. Time to ground yourself. I want to say that this person blows you away. That them reaching out just kind of is mind-blowing. And then maybe you just have to calm down and just say, wow, why now? Why did this person come back into my life now? And what is this? Is there more going on here? You know, like you can't help but think the bigger picture. So I would say you go through some of those feelings. You hurt me, but that's okay. Maybe there was some hurt. Maybe you got dumped, dumped in high school by this person. You know, who knows? But I think it's let bygones be bygones. And I think that it was a long time ago, whatever had happened. And we probably don't even remember, you know, like something was happened. Maybe they wanted to date your friend and you got jealous and they ended up with your friend instead of you. And who knows? But I just feel like there's a history here. I have so much desire for you. I never stopped thinking about you. I think it's definitely one of those, I always had a thing for you. And I still do. It doesn't matter how old we are. It doesn't matter how many years have passed. There's something about you that I was always attracted to. Is there someone else? That could be the first question. Are you in a relationship? Are you dating anybody? You could be single, but you could be, you know, in a committed relationship with somebody. So that could be the first thing that they ask, you know, are you in a relationship? Think before you act. What is going on here? Why are they coming back? I still don't have all the answers. I don't know what made me reach out to you. Maybe it was a gut reaction to hearing your name. Maybe it was something, a voice inside of them that said, hey, you know what? Reach out to them. You have nothing to lose. Let's just say hi. So maybe they just kind of went with their intuition. You make my heart full. Just hearing your voice. I do feel like it's going to feel good to hear their voice again. I do feel that there is, it just brings back like all these memories. And like I said, it's one of those connections where you pick up where you left off and it's effortless. And I don't care if there's 30 years that have passed. I feel like we just kind of find each other again and keep moving forward. So there is a part of me that is leaning towards a twin flame connection because twin flames have a tendency to do that. They'll part ways for years sometimes, and then they will somehow find each other again. So I'm going to put this out into the universe. This was a good one. And I liked the mood ring and I liked a lot of it. So let's put it out into the universe. I want to thank Spirit for all of these messages. If you're new to my channel, so grateful that you were guided here today. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, comment below, claim it, own it, it's yours. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, check out my website at KathyMamolen.com. Also take a ride over to my Pick a Card channel, and I will put the link in the description below. I've been uploading some singles readings over there and some thoughts and feelings and some different readings on that channel as well. So I hope you enjoyed your reading as much as I did, and I'll see you all again real soon.